Heyo guys, I just woke up and hit record and I'm literally boiling alive out here in the UK. I don't know what the weather is like for you guys. In fact, tell me in the comments actually how hot it is, and if you're watching this in the winter then well, consider yourself lucky. Anyway, Choujin X. When I first read Choujin X, I was disappointed by it. I found it pretty confusing and wasn't really a fan of the concept, but since only one chapter was out, maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset. I'm sure you guys may have been in the same place before. So I left it and decided to reread it again, and it's safe to say that my opinion has changed. I haven't actually read Sui Ishida's hit manga Tokyo Ghoul. I've seen the anime, and while it wasn't that bad at first, I never got round to the manga. But what I'm trying to get at here is I'm unbiased when it comes to Choujin X. I know there are a lot of people out there reviewing this who are massive Tokyo Ghoul fans, and you know, I don't love Sui Ishida, so I'm not going to be sucking his dick too hard without reason, but I also don't hate him either, so I'm hoping I can give you a fair view on Choujin X as we discuss it, and you can see if you guys agree or disagree with me. You can always comment what you think, because I love to chat with you guys. So Choujin X actually takes a similar start to Tokyo Ghoul. Some kids end up getting powers by accident, and in this case they become Choujins, which basically grant them a wide range of abilities which seem to be based off of their personality, which is quite a cool concept in itself. It's also great that Ishida hasn't boxed himself into one specific power or anything, which I'm sure is going to end up leading to some interesting fights. However, I am curious to see if the Choujins actually have any limitations. One thing that instantly stood out to me about them is that some of the characters, including Tokyo the main character, have actually gained their powers via injection. I really love this approach they've taken. The powers can manifest more naturally as well, but off the top of my head I can't really think of many series, or rather supernatural series, that rely on an artificial power system in their story. And I'm wondering if Ishida will give this more significance as the story develops. Speaking of the story though, I can't lie, it has been kind of bonkers so far. Choujin X starts off as something that looks like it's going to follow the story of two boys with newfound powers, right? But it ends up taking a different kind of route, which I was quite fond of, and also has you following two different stories at once. While Tokyo is dealing with the downsides of having Choujin powers, for example having to hide his appearance out of fear of stigma and judgment, a farmer's girl has also become a Choujin through more natural means. They parallel each other quite well because they're both kids who had to become Choujin because of things outside of their control, and are now being pursued by people who wish to exploit them for their powers. Choujin capitalism, baby. You can tell straight away that there's a larger overarching story at play here, but it doesn't overshadow other conflicts. And not just the inner conflicts I mentioned, but there is actually a lot of tension not only between enemies but friends as well. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Azuma pulls a Griffith at some point. Obviously it's early days yet in the story, and I do like this dynamic of focusing on one set of characters one chapter and switching to the others the next, but the tone shift itself can feel kind of obnoxious. You go from a deep character exploration one chapter to absurd violence the next, like literally just an entire chapter of people getting clapped. And then it goes back to a bit of self-reflection or something. Don't get me wrong, I like it. What I don't like is the pace at which it shifts tone. I just personally like to see it be done over the span of a few chapters, just for a bit of breathing room. I am pretty happy though that it doesn't feel like a Tokyo Ghoul clone whatsoever. You can tell that Ishida has a lot of creative freedom with this one, and he's chosen to express this through mostly the characters. But who knows, maybe with some more chapters the story will explode too. What has been consistently amazing though is the art. I am a sucker for text and dialogue dumps all over my face because, well, I'm a bit of a nerd. However, Ishida has clearly made this very light on exposition, instead focusing on visual storytelling, and I would be lying if I said it wasn't fucking beautiful. It can look very rough around the edges, but you can tell it's intentional. It very much reminds me of Chainsaw Man in that sense, which you guys may know that I love by now. I tend to avoid commenting on art too much, but at the end of the day it's a massive part of manga. It isn't just a book. I thoroughly enjoyed the story being conveyed through art, along with some gorgeous double page spreads, which seems to be becoming more common nowadays as Kaiju number 8 does something similar. I'm happy that Choujin X is being posted on an irregular schedule too, as it should hopefully give Ishida a less stressful schedule and he won't have to rush the art. I do think it's too early to say whether this manga is going to overcome Tokyo Ghoul or be better than this or better than that. I don't want to jump to any major conclusions, but it definitely feels like a strong start, if slightly confusing at times. Choujin X is very good. I just say take your time with it. Even if you're someone who's never read or watched Tokyo Ghoul in your life, it doesn't matter. As a standalone series, it's definitely worthwhile to get into. I've been Feign. I hope you enjoyed or found this useful, and if you did, maybe subscribe or drop a like so I can throw hands with the algorithm. And as always, drink some water and take it easy. Peace.